Hey guys, welcome back to Invested. Thank you for coming back and hope everyone's doing well. One question, it's a very interesting question because I think this individual just needs some guidance. So the question is, what are the best skills to have for investor relationship role? I'm a graduate student of Columbia University in real estate development. I'm looking to go into investor relations after I graduate next year. What do you think are the best skills and qualities to be successful in this space? What are the best firms that have fully functioning investor relations department? And there's some other personal stuff, but I'll kind of leave that out. I think this individual wants to work in the big cities like, DC, Boston, Chicago, SF, and LA. So this individual, like I empathize with you. I think, coming from a good university like Columbia, I'm pretty sure you're an intelligent person to a certain degree. So in any industry, regardless if it's investor relation, I'm going to call it IR. So essentially, you'll hear that IR relations and IR solution, things like that. So IR, it's a very complicated role or a very simple role, right? A lot of smaller companies will see them more like a salesperson, right? You're kind of like the PR person of the company, all the AUMs, what you're doing. But as you get elevated into more private equity or hedge fund, that actually has a really good platform with asset management, which is operational, their investment side, acquisition personnel, and their capital markets. So the capital markets role is essentially these individuals that's raising funds, right? So if when you hear Brookfield raised $1.2 billion or Artemis is raising $2 billion of distress fund, that's all on usually the capital markets, and investor relationship role goes into that role. So there's a lot of different roles. The investor relationship could be someone that's just giving individual calls and sending out quarterly reports. But as you escalate up into a higher role in the investor relationship, you're going to be working closely with your capital markets team. The personnel that are raising hundreds of millions of dollars from pension companies, sovereign wealth funds, and all that. And I will give you the names of really good real estate companies that may have that full-blown platforms for investor relations and capital markets. But number one, you got to have a very good interpersonal skill set, right? You got to be able to be a good communicator. Number one, and there's two methods of communicating: written communication and verbal communication. So you have to be very articulate and to be able to concisely delineate what you really want to say about that project or the firm. Second thing is going to be in writing, because you're going to be doing a lot of writing as well. So you can't be writing 3-page essays for an email that's going out to investors, letting them know, essentially your internal rate of return, how the investment is performing, NAVs, and all those good metrics that a lot of the investors would like to know about, and the fund managers. So number one, have a very good communication skill. Second, be available and be willing to work diligently, meaning long hours, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of people from different coasts, different hours. So it's not like 9 to 5, I'm going to go in and send the emails, because you might have to participate in site tours, galas, events, conferences, all that stuff as well, even seminars, presentations. Third, you got to have a good technical skills. So Excel, Word, PowerPoint, all these skill sets that you're going to be able to show these investors what you guys are working on. And lastly, you need to understand real estate. So this is a real estate page. So everyone's probably talking about real estate private equity firm that has the investor relationship. So then when you articulate a project, how are you going to be able to answer certain questions, such as, so what is the gross to net IR? Well, what is my MOIC? What is my EM? What is my cash and cash? Levered cash and cash, unlevered cash and cash. What is the assumptions on some of the TI packages or your CapEx projects? So as an investor relation, you have to know asset management. You actually have to know investments and capital markets. So a lot of people think that's an entry-level job and I'm just going to learn the ropes. I think the best way for you to become a great investor relationship role, you have to go get plugged into operations like asset management, working as property manager, assistant property manager, or go working as an analyst. If you have a real estate development background, you might have a lot of technical skill set that everyone's looking for to build out models, to do projections, do a lot of the performas, do your due diligence, things of that nature. So when you get into that role at a firm and kind of build into that divisions, and naturally, if you have a very good personable skill set, then it's kind of a good segue going into investor relationship. So that's why I think I'll tell you to focus on is understanding one aspect of real estate really well, the private equity world, because you will be challenged to answer all these questions for your investor relationship. So the firms, any large firms, you're gonna have a great investor relationship department. And I'm just gonna name you the big firms that everyone knows about, right? You can go to Blackstone, you can go to AEW, Colony, North Star Colony, Dorel, you can go to Related. And all these companies are vertically integrated with so many different global markets. They're gonna have the best resources for you. But these firms are big, right? So that means they pay the best, they give you the best skill set, but they want the best talent. So if you don't have any skill set because you're just coming out of college or you're a recent graduate, try to get an internship with them and kind of see what kind of the culture they have and what kind of work ethic that most of your competition is going to have in these firms. If you found this content helpful, please like, subscribe, and add us a comment. Thank you very much.